we're going to start off with the injuries. We've got Ron Leary. He had a concussion. He's in the protocol. Brandon Langley had a right knee. And Darren Stewart's got a left groin. Questions?
Yeah, Vance, you're having a great game, and then about an 8-minute nightmare there. Talk about your decision to call the timeout right before the field goal.
Well, the game was in firm control, for about 3 quarters there, and we felt good. But you turn them all over twice, on the short side of the 50, it's going to be a problem with Phillip Rivers, and that was the deal. As far as icing the kicker, I had 2 timeouts, so I wasn't going to, leave with those in my pocket. So it makes sense to just ice the kid and see how he reacted.
Vance, heard you got the game ball from Von Miller.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to that?
Well, it's good to win. It wasn't clean, but it's good to win. It's a hard league. Every week is going to be a challenge. So a win's a win. We'll take it.
Vance, when you were hired, you said you wanted to be very aggressive on offense.
Yes.
Looking at the play calling in the fourth quarter, do you think maybe you got too conservative where they took some of the momentum back?
Well, I would say this. We were in firm control of that game, and I didn't want to have any negative plays. Basically, the clock was in our favor, in my opinion. So burning the clock, getting to shorter third downs, that was my goal there. So I didn't think it was conservative. I thought it was just playing smart football.
You did build a 24/7 lead. We saw a little bit of different version of Simeon.
Sure.
Was that by design, the extend plays, the scrambles, we saw him more involved in the run?
That's Trevor. That's his instinct. As far as Trevor, he played very well outside of the 1 turnover in the fourth quarter. He was poised. He was smart at the LOS for us tonight, accurate with the football. So I was pleased with Trevor's performance tonight outside of the interception.
Vance, you had to put in some younger people in your secondary, particularly late in the game.
Yeah.
How did your guys do?
Jamal Carter played in the last 2 series. He did fine. We got guys on this roster that can play. So whoever's dressed, we kind of assume they can play. So I wasn't surprised he played well in his role tonight.
Vance, what's your level of concern with how your tackles played, or you chalk it up to those 2 guys are pretty good on the Chargers?
I thought they competed well. We had a couple pressures where Trevor got pushed into the guy. Menelik's on 99. He's pushing him past Trevor, and he got pushed back to Bosa. But, obviously having those 2 speed rushers, that's going to be a chore for any tackles in this league. But overall, in my opinion, they played solid football.
Is it safe to say that you're pretty pleased with finding Shelby Harris?
Shelby has earned his way, from the first day of OTAs through training camp, through the preseason games. He's earned his way. I mean, it's a perfect example of a guy coming into camp, and having an outside chance of making his football team, but he really earned his way.
Coach, you played with 2 defensive linemen sets often. Was that because your lack of defensive linemen in the game, or what did you see in a game plan that led you to do that?
I'm sorry, say again?
You played with 2 defensive linemen a lot in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Was that because you were short on defensive linemen, or was that because you saw something in the game plan?
No, it was more of a sub. It's more of a sub defensive front. They were more in 3 wides, 1 tight, 1 back. So when that happens, we're in 2 rush-ins and 2 inside players. So it was more about what they were doing to us.
BJ, how pleased were you with the rushing attack, C.J. Anderson and Jamal Charles tonight?
Very pleased. Our goal from the spring, since Mike came in, was to develop the running game. And you can see it. It's happening right now with C.J. Jamal at 1-2 punch. And with Trevor gaining, I think, 20 yards on the ground. So very pleased with the run game. Very pleased.
Vance, what was tonight like for you, your first real game, if we will, as a head coach? Did it get fast on you? Can you just kind of describe what it was like going through this night?
It felt like the preseason games, to be honest. I mean, it was just a game. Obviously the game management stuff and the timeouts are more critical now because it counts. In preseason, you can make a mistake and kind of live with it and learn from it, but now it's real. So I think the game management stuff, it gets turned up now. So I want to be perfect for our football team.
Vance, with Trevor running as he did, making big plays for you, have to talk to him at all about protecting yourself?
I want Trevor to get down. He went head first a couple of times tonight, which I don't like. I want him to get down, but it shows his courage. I mean, he wants to be the guy for this football team. So some of that you want, but he's got to be smart for us and stay healthy for 17 weeks.
On that first defensive drive, it seemed like the fans had a pretty big impact on that.
Absolutely.
What was your reaction to
the fans were awesome tonight. It was loud. I mean, Phillip had a couple times where the clock ran down, in my opinion, but it was really loud. I mean, it's a true home field advantage here in Broncos country, and it's definitely has an effect on offense.
Now you're the 11th head coach for the Broncos to win his first regular season game in the first game. What does that feel like? Reflect on that, to be adding to the Broncos, already stellar record.
Right. It feels good to win for our coaches and our players. We had great game plans tonight on both sides of the ball. Offensively, I mean, we missed a couple plays that we should have made, but both sides we had a great plan. Obviously, Brock's guys blocked the field goal to win the game. So, it's all about the coaches and players. And I feel good I won tonight, but we won. So that's the goal.
How do you feel about your production from the tight ends?
Awesome. I mean, all three guys caught balls for over 100 yards. So, that's Mike McCoy's offense. Everyone gets an opportunity. And again, facing a cover 3 team, that was the game plan, to expose the seams of the cover 3 system. And it worked. Virgil made a huge play. That was a huge play to get us down into the field goal range. We missed the field goal, but that play he made was huge. We're backed up by 3 points. If they stuff us there, it's going to be a short field for easy field goal. So that play was a huge play in a football game.
Vance, what do you think about the play your inside linebackers, specifically Todd, on that run blitz where
on the 4th and 1?
On the 4th and 1.
Todd and Brandon Marshall have been consistent and solid since I've been here with those 2 guys, and as a pair, they're pretty good as a pair.
Vance, I know you can't control the schedule. You've essentially had weeks, if not months, to prepare for tonight's game. And now it's almost midnight, and you got a real short week to prepare for Dallas.
Yes, we do.
Did those schedule makers do you a disservice where right off the hop you have a short week?
It doesn't matter. We'll show up Sunday and we'll play a football game, so it doesn't matter. We went through Dallas a little bit at the end of the week, so we already started Dallas. So next Sunday we'll play. Doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.